that is a big opportunity for any of you, for any markets that you want to go into, is to develop your own software for that industry. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, they all need AI. They're all going to be using AI. They're all going to get frustrated from AI because they don't know how to prompt it. They don't know how to talk to the machine. So you can use AI to figure out what any industry needs, how you can help them with these GPTs. And Quauntum, that's all it is. Quauntum is a suite of GPTs. It's not advanced software. It's not doing like automations and robotics and all, all this fancy stuff. It's not like that. It's simple GPTs that anybody can make, but few know how to. And even fewer know how to wrap it in a software that gives you a suite that you could actually sell to someone. That's what Quauntum is. It's a suite of GPTs. You can build any GPTs you want for any industry. You can either use my tools as a base or you can eliminate them. You can take any of my tools, rebrand them, put your own names to them, put your colors to it, put your logo on it, and away you go with your own software to sell to your industry. It's really cool. It's a really cool business. So if you're looking for something to do or you're not happy with the results of what you're doing, maybe you're not making enough, maybe you're working too hard, uh, it's something to think about. It's really, really cool. Like, I know how hard Teresa works, especially around tax time. What if she made a suite of tools for tax people to make their life simpler? Then
You're
she
absolutely right.
then she just sells them tools and she doesn't have to do the taxes anymore.
Well, I like the taxes, but I wouldn't mind having a side hustle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know,
Well,
it's
may I ask a question though, since you called me out?
sure, absolutely.
Um,
Just did.
okay. Say I mean, I love quantum and I love chat GPT and perplexity and all the rest, but I am strictly a user. I don't have the expertise, I don't think, to actually present this to someone else and
Okay.
say, hey, I can do this for you, or I have a team that does this for you, or whatever. So, how do I market quantum to perhaps people in the tax resolution business or
Okay.
preparers, or, accounting is changing because of AI
Yeah, yeah.
so much.
So
So,
it kind of falls back to the ACT program. You need a presentation, you need to identify the market, you need to do the market research on who they are, what they want, what their problems are. And and now with the quantum tools, that's really easy to do. So you could figure out what they want. And here's how, and I taught all the people that bought into the white label. Four of them I actually took on the boat for the weekend and I actually did it for them.
wish I could have been there.
Just to prove it. I wanted to prove it that within a 2-day period, you can have a full software business up and running. So to prove that, I took four people on the boat to Catalina for the weekend. And when I brought them back to the dock on Sunday, they all four had a fully functioning software business. I not only built out the Quauntum white label for them, I set up their Kartra accounts, integrated the shopping cart, put the sales pages up, and then once the box was complete, then we went in to customize the Quantum and we removed whatever tools they didn't want. And then I showed them how to go into God mode and create their own tools. And I even gave them the scripts to do it in Perplexity, because inside Quantum, you don't see it because you're not in white label, but in white label, there's a tool called God mode. And in God mode, it creates the GPT tools inside of the suite. So that's the tool that makes the tools inside the Quantum suite or in your white label suite. So in God mode, it asks you a bunch of questions. of how you want the tool built and all that. And then it writes all the code for you. So you're just simply answering some questions and telling it what you want it to do. It does everything behind the scenes for you to build that tool. You don't have to do any of that. So I was using Perplexity, and I showed everybody in the white label, I said, go to Perplexity, put in your industry, and ask it, what problems do people have in this industry that we could make GPT tools for that would eliminate the problems? That's how we found out what tools to make for each different industry. Super simple. AI just answered it. We asked the question, we asked the right question, and we got the right answer. Then we could go back and we trained a particular string in Perplexity of how to build the prompts and the tools to plug into the God mode to build the tools. So we said, okay, now we want to build a tool for this particular thing, whatever it might be. And I gave it a list of all the things that we needed to fill out in the form in God mode. And boom, it just spit it out. We pasted it in, and there was another tool. And literally in minutes. We're building those tools in minutes, not hours or days. Really, really cool. And then even the little icon tiles. One of the things that I had Perplexity spit out was the image prompt to create the icon tile for the tool. I had it name the tool. I had it give me the description for the tool of what it does. All that stuff just got pasted into God mode, and then magically the tool appears inside the suite. And I actually used the Act Imager to create all the image buttons. So I took the prompt out of Perplexity, put it into the Act Imager, made the icon tool, and then that's one of the things that you put into the God mode of where's the image for the tool? Well, here it is. Quantum just made it for us. So it's a really, really slick system that literally anybody with any skill level could take that and build software. You could be a software developer. And like Gina and Linda and Delilah and Ben, when we got back, we were hanging out at the dock here on Sunday, and I said, "You guys know what just happened?" And they're like, "What? What?" I'm like, "Y'all are now software developers." And it was like just the biggest smile on their faces to realize, "Oh my God, he's right. I'm a software developer." And they don't know any coding. They don't know, they're not programmers. They have absolutely no skill set whatsoever in that arena, but they're software developers. AI gave them that power. You remember I talked about the magic wand of you can be anybody you want with AI power behind you. You can be a graphic developer, you could be a web developer, you could be a copywriter, and you can be the best of all of them because of the power of AI. And now, with this magic wand, now you're a software developer. It's like whatever you want to be, I can crown you with AI and you are it. with no learning curve, no effort. It's just pure unadulterated skill at your fingertips for whatever you want to do. It's unbelievable.
Hey, John, for the record, it wasn't 2 to 3 days they had a fully functional SaaS software. It was probably like more like a day or two because Ben didn't get up until noon, so we really couldn't work until like noon every day. Just kidding, Ben. Just giving you a hard time. See if you're paying attention.
But we had a lot of fun too. I mean, it
Oh
was
yeah.
it was a blast. It wasn't like we were like grinding all day. And in fact, if I were to be honest about it, I built out their whole white labels before we even got on the boat. I did it basically to create a flow like what Gina teaches. You need a systems flow. So I created a systems flow, and I did the first one. It took me probably the longest to do the first one because I was having to document every step and all that. But I mean, it was only maybe a few hours to do it. And then the second one was much faster. The third one was a breeze. The third one was just like dip, 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 paint by the numbers, and now the whole thing's done. The cartridge done, the white label's done, they're connected, the Zapier's done. And then Brady came out and he went on the little cruise with us, and I sat him down in front of my computer and I said, I want to have an experiment here. You've never seen this before, you've never done any of this before. I want you to go through this PowerPoint, follow the steps, and I want to see if you can do it with no like instruction. The operating procedure was the instruction, and he had no problem doing any of it. He wrestled a little bit with my mouse, but we won't blame him for that. But he was able to just follow through, and that way I knew, okay, I could hand this to basically anybody and they could do this. So anybody that wants to do the white label, they don't have to go on the boat. They don't have to have me do it for them. They could take that procedure and they could run through and do it themselves. And the same day they're up and running with their own software business. I know just about anybody could do this in a day. It's following instructions. It's not a big, huge operation to do. And there's nothing more than point, click, copy, and paste. Seriously, there's no skills required to do any of this stuff. And the cool part is you can sell this for anything you want. The way that the white label is set up for Quauntum is you pay a seat license for each one that you sell, and that's a developer split. Part of that goes to the developers, part of it goes to me for using the system. And it's basically it's $9. You would pay a $9 fee for the seat for each one that you sell, and you can sell it for whatever you want. And that's monthly. It's $9 a month. You're selling it monthly. So if you're selling it for, let's say you're going to sell it for $100 a month and it costs you $9, you're making $91 a month every time you sell one, over and over and over. You know, it's just like free money that rains from the sky is the best way I can describe it. And I love when free money rains from the sky. So, you know, the more platforms I can make, the more money I can make rain from the sky. So that's why I white labeled my own Quauntum and built the AI Dominator platform. Now I have another one, another industry. It doesn't have any of the quantum tools. It's completely built for a whole different industry that doesn't care about the quantum tools. They care about the AIO tools. You know, so that's a perfect example. You know, lead by example. I tell you, you can build this for different industries. I just did it as an example. Highly valuable. I will probably sell the AIO Dominator for more than Quauntum. Quauntum I built basically just to help you guys get through ACT. You know, I didn't build it as a money maker. It comes down to it's attracting a lot more people into the ACT program, and it's helping those that are in it. So it's a good thing all the way around. But the AIO Dominator, that's going to be a money maker. That one I'll probably sell for at least 100, maybe 2 per month, because that's going to be to agencies. That's not going to be a dabbler's not going to be buying that. Or if they are, they buy it for a month and then they're done. But an agency will run a multi-million-dollar business around that. Do they mind paying a couple $100 a month for that tool set to do it all for them? Hell no, they pay a lot more than that. They'd be happy to pay a couple $100 a month.
I already started marketing that one, John, to everybody in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And then you've got the Rainmaker coming in on top of it to be the signals to actually train the large language models. It's going to be a win-win for everyone.